Hey y'all, I'm Bones of Omen. I am a Dead by Daylight killer main streamer on Twitch, Kick. We are expanding on YouTube and TikTok. And today I wanted to go over something that I feel like most people aren't gonna agree with, honestly. It's kind of controversial, but it seems like the way things should be heading because it's already there. And as you can see by the title, proximity chat or chat in general. Either or will honestly suffice. But I think it's time for Dead by Daylight to add a voice chat or some type of way for survivors to communicate with each other. I understand a lot of killers are going to hate me for saying this, but I think survivors should have comms. Survivors should have communications, a ping system, something. I understand that originally this game was not meant for, or it wasn't balanced around survivors having this much information, but it's already there. It's already here. You already got people playing in Swift teams on Discord servers. Like they're already talking to each other. So I really don't see the point in just not giving the rest of the community voice chat. It's gonna turn every other solo queue team into like somewhat resemblance of a Swift team. It's gonna be horrible for killers. I understand. It really is going to be horrible for killers. We are going to get our butts kicked for a long time. For a long time. It's going to be absolutely horrible playing killer once behavior adds voice comms to the survivors. But I think that's what the direction we need to head to, honestly. Because the main issue that survivors have in Dead by Daylight is solo queuing. They hate playing this game solo because they can't rely on their teammates, especially when they can't communicate with them. And usually you want to play as a Swiss team. So either way, like it's either you're gonna play solo queue, have a miserable time, or play with your friends and use your voice chat, Discord, whatever communications. It's already here. I don't see why not. Just give it to them. Just give it to them. Give the survivors voice chat. Just do it. Just do it. They're gonna absolutely destroy us for a time being, but I think this needs to happen for killers to get stronger. Once they see just how badly this game is for killers, once the solo queues have voice chat, they're gonna have to start buffing killers. They're gonna have to make them a little stronger, tweaks here and there, you know, because the survivor teams are just gonna be naturally stronger now. I told a friend this. I said, hey, I really believe that survivors should have voice chat, and they said, no, Bones, no, you do not. No, you do not. You are going to get your butt kicked over and over and over again. I'm like, yeah, that's good. That's exactly what I want. I want you survivors to have voice chat so you can absolutely destroy us. You can absolutely destroy us, all killers, for a time being. And it's going to get so bad that eventually behavior is going to have to buff killers. It's going to have to put this game in a new sense of direction in terms of balancing. Because once they say, like, all right, now it's really bad, you can see how badly this game leans towards they're going to have to buff killers. And I really feel like that's the best way to go. It's the best way to go. Survivor's main issue is solo queuing. Killers, we have so many other issues, we got to deal with. But I feel like once survivors are happy and, just let them get what they want, it's just the way things are in this game. It really is. You have to let survivors just get what they want. You got to cater to them. They make behavior the most money, and money is king. You know it. It's so obvious. And when you think about it from that perspective, you know that this game is survivor sided. But I'm not here to argue that. I'm here to argue making this game better for both sides. You guys, survivors, will have a better time with your solo queuing, with voice chat, and killers are gonna have a short-term gain. I'm sorry, short-term pain for a long-term gain. That's what they should do. They should do. If behavior literally does nothing after giving survivors voice chat, I would be appalled. I would literally be stunned. Like, there's no way they will let this game be in that state of survivors just absolutely dominating the queue times and the matches. I'm sorry, not the queue times, the matches. You know, like they have to do something. They would have to force their hands. And a lot of killers, they don't want that because they know this game's already rough. It's already rough enough as it is, playing killer these days. But I think this is what we need to do. We need to give survivors voice chat so they can talk to each other. They can kick our butts, and behavior will be like, all right, well, now I guess we got to actually buff killers now. And I really do believe that other players are going to be really mad at this when this happens, if they ever do it. But it's the direction that needs to go. In the beginning, Dead by Daylight was not meant for this. Like they wanted it to be like a horror simulation thing. It's not. It's no longer that. It's no longer that. Behavior is in this they're thinking in the terms of this game when it first came out, of it being like a horror like simulation and it not being balanced around communications. But survivors already have communications when they're Swift. You know, it's like, so if you're saying that this game is not meant to be balanced around survivors having this much information, but you have Swift teams and Discord calls talking to each other with this information, like, you might as well already give it to them. You might as well already give it to them, because if it wasn't balanced for this, they're already doing it, and it's just another point of why this game's survivor sided. But I'm not gonna get to that point. I truly do believe that you need to give them voice, give them voice chat, give them voice chat. Stop pretending like this game is what it first was when it first came out. It's completely different. It's not even like, I remember when I first played this game. It was a horror sim, you know. It was darker. It was grittier. You know, it actually did feel like a horror sim. But now it's just a PvP game. It's a PvP game. Like, just accept it. Accept it. There's no horror themes in this game. Like, you're not scared playing this game. Not really. You know, maybe when you first get in, it's like, you know, but like now it's just like, okay, what perks do I bring? You know, are like, oh, there's another pellet right here. Like, you know, you're not really scared. You're just like, you're more like, oh, all right, I just gotta deal with this. It's not a horror game anymore, and you need to treat it like a PvP game. Behavior, you need to treat this game like a PvP game and not a horror simulation, because it's no longer that. It hasn't been that for a long, long time. A long, long time. And once they accept that, hopefully they can make the right decisions and actually push this game towards a better playable state. Not what it is now. 2v8, 2v8. I feel like every time 2v8 comes out, it gets worse and worse for killers. I didn't even play the last 2v8. I played this 2v8, but I didn't even bother the last 2v8 because I knew it was going to be absolutely horrible for the killer. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to give this one a shot. I'll play this one. I played it, and you know the common theme I see? It's either the killers get 1 or 2 kills, and that's it, and everyone else survives, or everyone survives, or the whole team gets wiped out. The whole team gets wiped out. Nothing in between. Nothing in between. And it's at a point where I feel like if survivors lose a 2v8, it's their fault. It really is their fault. It is so catered, so heavily favored in your position as a survivor player in 2v8. It really is. It really is. I don't even think you should have flashlights. I don't think you should have flashlights in 2v8 because I don't think a killer can really afford a flashlight save because the gens go by so quick. You know, like it's such a bad state of play for killers right now, and I feel like we just need to bite the bullet, killers. Killer mains out there, we need to bite the bullet. We really do. We need to just say, give the survivors voice chat. Give it to them. It's gonna suck. I promise you guys, we'll make it through it. Just hang in there. You know, it really is gonna be miserable for us. I know. But it's for the betterment of the game. Survivors are gonna kick our butts. But they're gonna finally buff killers. They should. They should. They should be. If they don't buff killers after giving survivors voice chat, I think I would just give up on this game. I really would. You know, I really would. There's no fixing it. Like, if like we're already extending our hand out. We're extending our hand out. Give it to them. Give them voice chat so they can stop complaining about solo queue. So you can have every team be out strong as a Swift team. So you can see the actual average Swift team like skill level and balance the game around that. You know? That's the direction we need to go to. Not what it is right now. Like 2v8, absolutely horrible. If you lose as a survivor, it's because your teammates weren't locked in. They were just like messing around, lollygagging. You have like I don't want to get too much into it, but I am very disappointed in the state of 2v8. You guys kill switched Wesker in 4 hours, but it took you behavior forever to address the scout glitch. Like, that was fine. But you kill switch Wesker in 4 hours. I'm not saying they shouldn't have kill switched Wesker. I'm just saying I think it's a little crazy that within 4 hours they kill switched Wesker. But the scout challenge, let the survivors have their fun. Let the survivors have their fun. When do we get that? When do the killers get to have fun? When do we have to fun? No, we have to make sacrifices. That's why I'm pushing the argument of having voice chat for survivors so they can actually start buffing killers once survivors start kicking our butts and start acting like all Swift teams. We constantly gotta give up. Like we constantly gotta make sacrifices, you know, and play certain ways for the survivors. You know, it's really like coddling a baby. You really are. You gotta give them what they want so you can be happy, and it's really frustrating. It really is. It really is. But just give it to them. Just give them voice chat so they can buff killers after we get our butt kicked for a few months. It's gonna be a slow grind. They'll probably slowly but surely buff killers here and there. You know how behavior is with their updates, taking forever. This game they make so much money off this game. They take forever to make. I don't want to get into it. That's all I had to say. A little small rant. Give survivors voice chat. Have them kick our butts, and then they'll slowly but surely buff killers. They should. If they don't, then I give up. I give up. Let me know what y'all think in the comment section below. I'm really curious. I know a lot of y'all are not going to like that, of what I had to say about voice chat, but I truly do believe we need to have this. It needs to happen. Thank y'all for watching.